pẹ̀lú
ojú rere ti dọ́dọ̀ mi o.
ẹ máa wá mi bọ̀ o, ẹ máa wá
ó pè yín kẹ́ máa bọ̀ o.
Ọlọ́run ti sọ̀rọ̀ mo gbàgbọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ó ló máa dára fún mi ò lọ́dún tí mo wà yìí ìmúṣẹ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lónìí nìyí ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Ọlọ́run ti sọ̀rọ̀ mo gbàgbọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ó ló máa dára fún mi ò lọ́dún tí mo wà yìí ìmúṣẹ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lónìí nìyí ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Àkókò àmì là wà yìí kò jẹ́ máa sàmì kankan.
Àmín o.
Bàbá mi ní ń wí fún ọ kó ló máa ṣàṣeyọrí.
Àmín o.
Àgàn yìí àtọwọ́ bòsùn yóò fi pamọ́ lára.
Àmín o.
Ojú àṣà kì í rí bi kò ní fojú sọkún.
Àmín o.
Àwùjọ wọn ní kì í rọrùn ìwọ ò ní rí yọnu.
Àmín o.
Ogun agbánimúgbé nípa kò mà níyàlé rẹ̀.
Àmín o.
Bẹ́nìkan bá ro kúrò ọ ó forí ara rẹ̀ gbé.
Àmín o.
Ìsà òkú tó lanu yìí kò ló ń jẹ nílé rẹ̀.
Àmín o.
Ire lójú owó ń rí ire ni kó máa bá ọ.
Àmín o.
Ọjọ́ bá yọ á kan rí ògo rẹ̀ fọ́n jáde.
Àmín o.
Oòrùn bá láyé ogòkè kó máa dókè jẹun.
Àmín o.
Ìgbọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ń yọjọ rí kó máa gajọ̀ tá lọ.
Àmín o.
Nínú ọdún tá a wà yìí kó máa powó ránṣẹ́.
Àmín o.
Nínú oṣù tá a wà yìí ìrànlọ́wọ́ àwa orí.
Àmín o.
Ìwọ tó ń wáṣẹ́ kó gbọ́ kó máa ríṣẹ́ kankan.
Àmín o.
Ìwọ akọ tó ń wáya bàbá ló ń yàn fún ọ.
Àmín o.
Ìwọ abo tó ń wọ́kọ kó máa ṣègbéyàwó.
Àmín o.
Gbogbo èyí tí mo wí fún ọ orí bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́mi náà.
Àmín o.
Ire lójú owó ń rí ire kó máa bá ọ.
Àmín o.
Àlàáfíà lọ dẹ̀dẹ̀ kó máa jẹ́ títì rẹ̀.
Àmín o.
Ìwọ tó ń sàmì yìí tìrọ̀ náà bá lọ.
Àmín o.
Ìwọ tó ń tò mí lọ́wọ́ ojú rẹ̀ ti rí rẹ̀.
Àmín o.
Ìwọ tó ń jíjó lọ́wọ́ ijó ayọ̀ ní tiẹ̀.
Àmín o.
Ìwọ tó ń pàtẹ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ ọ̀wọ̀ ní táwọ́ náà.
Àmín o.
Ẹ bá mi sàmì àdúrà tilétilé tẹbí dára lórí ọmọ lórí aya lórí iṣẹ́.
Àmín o.
Ìyanu tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ máa mú kí n jó bí ó di. Ayọ̀ tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ tí máa fi jó bí àdìtì. Oṣù yìí tó parí bàbá jẹ́ torí mi ṣẹlẹ̀ kí n jó láì rí ìlú kí n jó bí àdìtì.
Ìyanu tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ tá a mú kí n jó bí ó di. Ayọ̀ tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ tí máa fi jó bí àdìtì. Oṣù yìí tó parí bàbá jẹ́ torí mi ṣẹlẹ̀ ìjọ láì rí ìlú ìjó bí àdìtì.
Mo máa ṣerú ẹ̀ fún ọ ìwọ gan wájó wáyọ̀ ò ní dúró dé lù kí o tó gbọ́wọ́ ijó ó ti ẹ̀ níbi kìtà bóyá lùgàn ò bá ijó mu wàá máa rán bí òkò tí òkò tó ń múrò yìn ayọ̀ tí o gbọ́ má gbọ́wọ́ ijó gẹ́gẹ́ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ayọ̀ tí o rí oṣù yìí tó parí ó bàbá jẹ́ torí mi ṣẹlẹ̀ ìjó láì rí ìlú ìjó bí àdìtì.
Ìyanu tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ tá a mú kí n jó bí ó di. Ayọ̀ tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ tí máa fi jó bí àdìtì. Oṣù yìí tó parí bàbá jẹ́ torí mi ṣẹlẹ̀ ìjọ láì rí ìlú ìjó bí àdìtì.
Ta ló ń sọ fún ọ pé wọn náà kò máa jó ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ayọ̀ tí mo wí tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ọ akọ ẹ níjó tuntun ìjó ká ìrẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ ìjó akọ ẹ lórin titun láì kì í ṣe kọ̀ǹpóṣà orin titun àtẹnujáde oníjó tuntun àtẹsẹ̀rẹ̀ wú tó bá jẹ́ láàrin ìgboro ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yẹn ti bá ọ níbẹ̀ náà ló ti máa jó tó bá jẹ́ nínú ìyàrá àní ìwọ nìkan agbọ́wọ́ ìjó gẹ́ngẹ́ wà á tún kọjú sókiri láláì gbọ́lu oṣù yìí tó parí bàbá jẹ́ kó torí mi ṣẹlẹ̀ o torí mi jó láì rí ìlú kí n jó bí àdìtì o.
Ìyanu tí ayọ̀ tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ tí máa fi jó bí adití. Ó ṣe yìí tó parí bàbá jẹ́ òtórí mi ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Ìjọ láìrí ìlú ìjó bí adití.
Mo ti ríru rẹ̀ rí o, ṣebí ní sójú mi ló ṣe. Bàbá àgbà kan ní mo ní kẹ̀kẹ́ napep ó ń lọ láàrin ìgboro nígboro ìlú Ìjẹ̀bú Ìjẹ̀bú Òde. Bàbá tó ń wa kẹ̀kẹ́ yìí kò ní kọ́bọ̀ lágbo kò tiẹ̀ tún láṣọ ọlọ́run. Ṣebí nítorí àtijẹ́ ló fi ń gba kẹ̀kẹ́ wá. Bó ti ń lọ lópòpó yẹn mọ́tò kan ń bẹ níwájú. Ọkọ̀ bàbá olówó níwájú, bàbá oníkẹ̀kẹ́ lẹ́yìn. Ṣàdédé lójijì a ò mọ ohun tó lówó rí tó mú kó tẹ bírèkì. Ọkọ̀ bá ṣe sì ó dúró. Bàbá oníkẹ̀kẹ́ ìyẹn náà tẹ bírèkì. Ìyẹn bá di páfẹ́ bírèkì kò mú mọ́. Tó bá di labalábá àfi kò ṣàlágbọ́n. Ó kó fún bàbá olówó ó ti fáná mọ́tò. Bàbá olówó sọ̀kalẹ̀ ó wá jáde nínú kẹ̀kẹ́. Ìgbájú ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kínní ìgbájú ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ó ní ó fáná mọ́tò mi. Ó ti jẹ gbèsè sóògbọ́ iná mọ́tò tí ó fọ́ 120,000 ló jẹ́ ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọgọ́fà. Bàbá bá bú sẹ́kún ó ní bí wọ́n ta òun àtayá àtọmọ àwọn ò lè rírú owó yẹn. Olówó fárígá ó ní kẹ̀kẹ́ ń wẹ́kún mu. Mọ́tò wa tó lọ rẹ́rẹ́ kò sọ́nà láti kọjá. Olówó ti gbé mọ́tò dínà. Ṣàdédé lójijì àlejò kan ń fẹsẹ̀ rìn látọwọ́ ẹ̀yìn wa. Nígbà tó débi tọ́rọ̀ ti sẹ́ ó ní ẹjọ́ kí ló dé kí ló fa roadblock ta ló gbé mọ́tò dínà. Olówó dá lóhùn ó ní bàbá ọ̀dẹ̀ yìí ni ó ti fáná mọ́tò mi. Bí ọ̀dẹ̀ sanwó iná yẹn èmi ò ní gbé mọ́tò kúrò. Àlejò yẹn wojú bàbá tó ń ké bí ọmọ títún pẹ̀lú àkísà lọ́rùn. Ó bá kọjú sí olówó ọ̀nkú ẹ má ṣe bínú èló lówó iná tán fọ́. Ó ní sóò fẹ́ bá sanwó ni 120,000 ló jẹ́. Àlejò yẹn kò ń da torí 120 just 120 ó dá gbogbo orí dúró torí 120,000 naira. Ó fasọ̀yà mọ́ bàbá lára láì tiẹ̀ wo tewú orí. Èló ló ra mọ́tò yẹn gan mo fẹ́ mọ iye tó jẹ́. Gbogbo èrò bá pa lọ́lọ́ olówó méjì ń sọ̀rọ̀ òyìnbó ń ré bọ́ lákọ̀ àwé níwájú mi. Don't be silly mọ́tò 15 million tí mo rà lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá. Àlejò yẹn fún lésì ó ní màá jọ ẹ lójú mo dẹ̀ máa wọ́ ẹ lẹ̀. Ìgbéraga ẹ ti pọ̀jù èló lo ní tó kún ọ lójú. Tòní ni wọ́n fi yé ọ pébi títì ẹ parí sí ibẹ̀ ni tèmi ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Àṣẹ torí ẹnìkan olówó méjì forí gbárí. Afẹ́ gbẹ́ nìkan gòkè afẹ́ tún tẹ nìkan ṣe. Àlejò yẹn sẹ́wọ́ sẹ́yìn ọmọ gbé báàgì mi wá. Mo fẹ́ fi yé wèrè yìí pé mo lè rà á kí bàjẹ́. Mi ò ní sanwó iná yẹn mi ò dẹ̀ ní láti kọ check. Ló bá sí briefcase àfi bí àlá ó ka 15 million. Ó kò lé olówó lọ́wọ́ ó ní gbowó mọ́tò ẹ bí o wá bí wọ́ sí àǹdẹ̀ bá ń kó òwe ọkọ̀. Ìyẹn bá fi tìjú parẹ́ ó bá kọjú sí bàbá TV. Bàbá oníkẹ̀kẹ́ níbi tó ti ń sòsùké ó ní dádì ẹ̀yẹ eke onílẹ̀kùn yín parí sí ẹ̀ mọ mọ́tò wíwá. Bàbá ní mo ń gbìyànjú mọ́tò yẹn ti di tiyín. Bàbá TV sáré lọ sókè bí ẹni tí nǹkan jẹ́jẹ́ nígbà tó ń sáré padà bọ̀. Ṣé ló ń tọ́ bí ọ̀pọ̀lọ ó ń jó láláìríru ó ń jí jóòdì níbi tó ti ń jó lọ́wọ́. Àlejò yẹn fa ṣẹ́ẹ̀kì yọ ṣẹ́ẹ̀kì 2 million ó fi lé bàbá lọ́wọ́. Ó ní dádì ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ẹ ò gbúdọ̀ ta mọ́tò yìí ẹ máa fi jayé kiri. Ṣé ẹ rówó eléyìí òwò tó bá wù yín tẹ́ lè ṣe ẹ lọ fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ẹ gbọ́. Bó bá ti jẹ́ kí ẹ pè mí káàdì mi nìyí ẹ wá wojó lẹ́sẹ̀ arúgbó. Oṣù yìí tó parí ó bàbá jẹ́ kó torí mi ṣẹlẹ̀ ó tó láì rí ìlú yóò bí àdìtì.
Ìyanu tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ tá mú kí jó bí òdì. Ayọ̀ tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ tí máa fi jó bí adití. Ó ṣe yìí tó parí bàbá tí ó torí mi ṣẹlẹ̀. Ìjọ láìrí ìlú ìjó bí adití.
Ìjọ láìrí ìlú kí n jó bí adití.
Ìjọ láìrí ìlú ìjó bí adití.
Ìdẹ̀ tí jó bí adití.
Ìjọ láìrí ìlú
Olúwa jẹ́ jó bí adití. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ayọ̀ láyé mi tá mú mi jí ijó Olúwa.
Ijó láìrí ìlú, ijó bí Adití.
Bàbá jẹ́ kí gbẹ́lẹ́dá ayọ̀ tá mú mi jó bí Adití.
Widowers, orphan care, children and youth awareness events, medical, disaster relief and development. Iṣẹ́ gbogbo wa ni ẹ jẹ́ kájọ sowọ́pọ̀ kájọ gbé e lárugẹ ká nawọ́ ìrànwọ́ sí àwọn aláìní kíkọ́ ilé ìwé ìgbàlódé fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ àwọn abarapá àti àwọn aláìní àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Host and ambassador is Prophetess Adebisi for financial sponsors and support. Account details in London. Account name Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International. Bank name Metro Bank. Account number 26891639. Sort code 230580. Nigeria account name Light of Faith and Joy International. Bank name FCMB. Account number 4528359012. Contact details +44 7961 36 0585 +234 70 36 70 6218 +234 80 23 44 1746 +234 80 52 1416. Website lfjoutreachinternational.com. Email light.of.faith.n.joy.outreach@gmail.com. Facebook Light of Faith and Joy Outreach. Note this, that the second visit will be at Shagam on 28th of June 2018. Let's come together to do it. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International presents 2018 outreach event in Nigeria. Date Tuesday 26th June 2018. Time 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at St. Paul Primary School, Adiogun, Akinyele Local Government, Ibadan, Oyo State. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International is celebrating journey so far and a year celebrating of LFJ in Nigeria. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International is an outreach bring dignity, awareness, honest to meet the physical need of people through humanitarian support networks, homeless people with need, widowers, orphan care, children and youth awareness events, medical, disaster relief and development. Iṣẹ́ gbogbo ni ẹ jẹ́ kájọ sowọ́pọ̀ kájọ gbé e lárugẹ ká nawọ́ ìrànwọ́ sí àwọn aláìní kíkọ́ ilé ìwé ìgbàlódé fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ àwọn abarapá àti àwọn aláìní àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Host and ambassador is Prophetess Adebisi for financial sponsors and support. Account details in London. Account name Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International. Bank name Metro Bank. Account number 26891639. Sort code 230580. Nigeria account name Light of Faith and Joy International. Bank name FCMB. Account number 4528359012. Contact details +44 7961 36 0585 +234 70 36 70 6218 +234 80 23 44 1746 +234 80 52 1416. Website lfjoutreachinternational.com. Email light.of.faith.n.joy.outreach@gmail.com. Facebook Light of Faith and Joy Outreach. Note this, that the second visit will be at Shagam on 28th of June 2018. Let's come together to do it. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International presents 2018 outreach event in Nigeria. Date Tuesday 26th June.
I appreciate you all and I say thank you for the journey so far. This is the third program we're having. And I believe a lot of you have seen the two people sitting, so I'm not going to introduce them myself. I'm going to get them to introduce themselves, and we go from there. So I'll let my mother introduce herself first.
Hello, good evening, viewers. God bless you. My name is Prophetess Balogun of Jesus Christ Church. Bromley, thank you.
We all know our mother very well, and I know everybody watching knows her. I welcome you, Ma. It's a privilege for you to be called and to answer. I know you're answering the voice of call. The Lord will continue to strengthen you and give you. And every one of you know my father as well. I'll let him introduce himself as well.
Good evening, viewers at home. My name is Prophet Adebisi Raymond. No.
What church are you from? Don't cut it.
I'm from Cherubim and Seraphim UK headquarters, 175 Federal Grove.
I'm welcoming my father here
Thank
as
you.
well. It's a privilege for you to be called and to be here. For those that are just joining us on this third program, I'm the ambassador. I don't need to name myself, but you know, Prophetess, I can be saying the ambassador for Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International. The outreach was founded by the vision and the call of God December 13, 2016. We have celebrated 1 year. You know, we thank God for the journey so far. As this program we're doing is just an awareness of an event that's going to be happening in Ibadan on the 26th of June, and another event happening on the 28th of June in Shagamu. As I've been saying in previous programs, that you could go on our Facebook, which is Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International. You can go on our Facebook and look at the recording for the 28th of February this year. If you look at that video, your heart will be touched with the way the children are there. I know a lot of people have called and said, what is the local government doing? They were giving money. But if we wait to discuss that, that will be another topic, another day. But we are here for us to meet our hearts, for us to seek your assistance so that we can go and bless. The little you give us will be appreciated, and I believe the little you give us, the Lord will bless you in manifold. As you've seen in the beginning of the program, there's contacts and everything there. As we're going on, we would let you know about the accounts and everything as well. We're doing a lot for the school in Ibadan. We're doing benches and tables, we're doing school bags, we're going to be buying textbooks and stationaries, and we're going to entertain the kids for them to have a sense of belonging, to know that being in that situation is not the end of the world. They have a better future ahead. And I've called my mother and my father here with a call and the anointing the Lord has given to them, for them to talk more about what it is about blessing. What is it about when you give to people that are not coming back to say thank you to you? What is the reward? Because we all go to churches, we all go to mosques, we all have one thing or the other we believe in. And I believe in anything we believe in, there is something about giving. And what is the benefit? Why do I have to give? Why don't I have to give? I know a lot of you have given and you've not seen anything back. You've not even seen the people that you've given to go bless, to come back and feed you on what they've done with the little you've given to them. Light of Faith and Joy would not do that. When we come back from Nigeria, we'll be back on Noble TV to tell you and to give you a video of everything that was done there, and to let you know that all your widow's mites or whatever you've given to us was used as it was expected. So I'm going to get my mother, Captain Mother, Prophetess Balogun, to start us off with what she knows about the blessing in giving. No? Yes, ma'am.
Father Lord, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Father.
For who we are before you and for who you are in our lives. Especially for this ministration, oh Lord, we say thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Because if we do not say thanks for all that you have done, how can we receive more? Because we appreciate you today, in the name of Jesus, descend among us, O Lord.
Amen.
Go with us, O Lord.
Amen.
Let your perpetual light, let it shine around us.
Amen.
Shine and speak through us.
Amen.
And let there be more elaboration over this issue, Lord.
Amen.
So that at the end of it, we will all praise your holy name.
Amen.
This we ask, O Lord, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Well, thank you, host. Thank you, everybody that has donated before now. Thank you for what you are still doing and for what you will still do. Before I will move forward over this topic, I will want to remind us about one little song in those days that we used to sing, and it goes in Yoruba like this. Ẹnikẹ́ni tí wọ́n bá nípa láti ṣe lọ́wọ́ fún o, òun náà lẹ́ni kejì rẹ̀ tọ́jú rẹ̀. Òun lẹ́ni kejì rẹ̀ ó rántí, rántí o. Òun lẹ́ni kejì rẹ̀ ó rántí, rántí o. Ẹnikẹ́ni tí wọ́n bá nípa láti ṣe lọ́wọ́ fún o, òun náà lẹ́ni kejì rẹ̀ tọ́jú rẹ̀. That song only means whoever you can help is your neighbor. Whoever you can render help to is your neighbor. And therefore, always remember to get in touch, keep in touch with that person, and then I'm sure the Lord, in His infinity mercy, will repay you back for it. Once again, I will thank God for this hour, because Christ came to this world to bless us abundantly. And if He has came to bless us abundantly, and He's still blessing us abundantly, it shouldn't be too difficult for us to bless one another. And the Bible told us in the book of Acts of Apostles, chapter 20, verse 35, it says time of blessing is time of giving is time of blessing. May I quickly go through it? It says, I have shown you in every way, by laboring like this, that you must support the weak, and remember the words of the Lord Jesus, that He said, it is more to be blessed to give than to receive. Hallelujah. This is a key word for us. To know it is very important for us to give. When we give, it is a blessing unto others. Because if that little boy where Christ was saying, how can we feed these thousands of people?
Just was selfish.
If he refused to give out, those people would just have been there, without nothing to feed them. Of course, it's not that they wanted to hear about Jesus, but they are hungry. And because of the little boy the little help he rendered, then they continue, and Jesus Christ, kept on having a lot of souls to render help to like that. So I will plead and beg us that let it be part of us, especially with the name of this outreach, light and faith of joy. When we have our faith in the Lord to obey Him, we have a lot more joy to receive in Him. And when we receive a joy from Him, it will be permanent. And whatever we receive being it permanent, no one on earth can ever be able to take it away from us. Neither will it slide away from us. So it is good for us to give out. Thank you.
Thank you, my mom. My mom just hit the nail on the head. I think in the previous programs we did, I enlightened something about the name of the outreach. Because when the vision was given, I felt it might be Akindesem Foundation or Anuluatobi Foundation. But the Lord did not allow me to do that. He gave me a name. And that name, I just got it, but was not really thinking about what the name is. Until one of my mother Olumodeji, and Mother Yemi Olumodeji in Basildon, she said something, and I slept and I got it, that where there's darkness, in the light of the less privileged, there is darkness there. And you're set to go out and give them a light. And how do the outreach give them a light? By if you help them with their needs, you will give them a light. And when you give them a light, they would then look and believe that there must be somebody that is you believe in, or the people helping believe in. So it would affirm their faith. Their faith will be stronger, because if they've lost their faith, they would then be able to affirm their faith that, okay, there are still people on the face of the earth that the Lord is in their heart, that knows that giving is good. And when their faith is affirmed, they will be in fullness of joy. It's not all about the eating or the clothing, but you would understand the fact that if somebody has not eaten a square meal, and the person is in a church or in a mosque, and you're praying, their mind is not going to be there because they've not eaten. But imagine that they know that they're going to the mosque or the church, and they know that after that word, after everything that's been given to them, they're going to meet their needs. Then they would believe and be able to call other people to let them know that this place is there for you to meet with Christ. Not just meeting with Christ, they would meet you with your needs. And that is why I'm pleading with every one of us that the little we give, as Tesco says, every little helps. The little you give, the outreach might not be able to say thank you, but the Lord would say thank you in ways you do not expect, even not to you, but to generations of yours to come. And that is why we're here, to just let you know that this is what this outreach is about. It's about giving an helping hand. I was not called for something else. I was called to go and do this. And I cannot do it alone. But I just believe that the Lord would meet your hearts and allow you to give that little that would bless somebody else. And blessing somebody else, we should always put in mind, we do not bless people with the fact that they will come and say thank you. Because if you wait and say thank you, then we've got that blessing already. It's not going to be as much as what the Lord is going to bless us with. I'm going to tell my father's word as well to talk to us about a bit about what it is about blessing. And if any of us wants to put messages or ask questions on the page, you're allowed to, and we'll come back to say hello to everyone that is on watching us.
Thank you, my mother. Yes, giving to needies is very, very important. My mother referred to Jesus when Jesus fed about 5,000 people. If those people didn't get anything that day, probably they would go in hungry, and the following day nobody will come back. But because Jesus fed them and they were happy, they were able to stay and listen to what Jesus is teaching them. According to 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 7, Paul was telling them that let everyone do the purpose according to his heart. According to his or her heart, because God loves the cheerful giver. Why that? We have so many promising childs. Remember, before Jesus was born, people thinking Jesus will come from palace. But unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, Jesus came from manger. He was born in manger. Same thing happened to these young people. The young promising child, mostly they are in village, which their parents cannot even boast of what to eat the next hour, talking of tomorrow morning. And the glory in these childs are enormous. But if they are unable to go to that school, that means that glory will just die with them. And that is why we are appealing to people, especially those who are watching from Ibadan or your state. Most of you know St. Paul's Primary School, Adeogun, Akele local government. Yeah. And most of you know the ballet there, Chief Bolarinwa. If you go there and ask them, you will see what is going on there presently. Most of these promising childs are there. And if you are able to help them and assist them, wipe away the tears from their parents' face, then all of them will go back to God tomorrow. Because none of them can discover their talent now until when they finish primary school. Then when they now proceed to secondary school, they now see the light of the day. But if you stop them or they stop halfway, that means the problem still persists. And that is why I appeal to everyone watching us right now that please whatever you can do to assist these children. You know, everybody has their own calling. God called some people and they decided to go and found church. But God called my mother here. She did not go and establish a church. She was given a specific task to do. And that is why she found herself in Nigeria. To go and assist the needy over there. Now, she refused to establish a church. And she was running up and down to assist them. I think that is what Jesus did then by preaching to other people from village to village. He did not sit in one place. And that is what my mother is doing right now. She refused to sit in one place and said, I'm the leader of everyone is a leader. But you have your task. You have your calling. And most important thing is to have your calling, you know your calling and you understand your calling. She understands her calling, that's why she went there to do what we are talking about right now. I think so many people have contributed a lot to this foundation. Please, let these children feel your impact as well. Let them know that somebody over there care about them. It's not necessarily they know who do this or who did that. But I know that one day they will get to that post and everything will come as a story. And God will now remember you that you contributed to their life, and that is why they are able to say this out. So as you put it in your mind that you want to assist this outreach, I pray that the light of God will shine upon your life. You know, the three names combined together. And that three names has meaning. When God lights your way, joy comes out from it. And when you get joy, definitely you have faith. And Jesus says, if you have faith as small as mustard seed, if you ask the mountain to move, it will move. Every mountain before you today, I pray that God will remove it before you.
Amen.
Thank you.
I would just want to take a few minutes to just appreciate those on the live page now. I've got Otumba Tunde Shodimo watching us. I appreciate you. I've got Larry Cash Eva from Nigeria watching. I've got Arowo Shola Oladuni as well watching. I have my pastor here, Pastor Akindiya, watching as well. I've got a member of the Light of Faith and Joy Outreach in Nigeria watching, my son, Pastor John Oluwashe. And I believe he's listening to what it's all about here. I've got Pastor Kumuyi as well watching. I've got Arole watching. I've got my daughter, Beatrice, I know, watching. I've got my darling sister, Prophetess Shomoye, watching. I've got River of Joy, Zion, watching. I've got my brother Ibabaladura watching. Prophet Dele Odusanya. Just keep in mind that you're coming as well on Light of Faith and Joy platform, sir. I've got my mother here, Shemun Odebi here. I appreciate you, ma. You're always on, and I know you are one of the admin of Noble. The Lord will continue to bless you and guide you. I appreciate I'm not sure if it's a man or woman, or your Dele Olubajo. Thank you for being on this page. I've got Paul Oluwole from America as well watching. I've got my darling sister, So Good God, Iyadura on here. I've got my darling sister, Mother Oyetunji here. I've got my daughter, my sister, Chris O'Rock on here. I've got my darling sister from another mother, Monica from the US here. I've got even Dublin online here. I've got Prophetess Jokumba on here. Joyful Praise, I appreciate you. Apostle Yomi Adeleye, we are going to celebrate that anniversary together next week. And I expect an envelope from the church for Light of Faith and Joy. So don't let me ask before you give. I have Olori Adenikon, that's my darling wife of my adopted father. I've got someone here, I believe it's a family of the Adiagas here. I appreciate you. I've got Arewa Jesu. I'm appreciating every one of you because you've taken your time to log on. Oluglo, I appreciate you. Tokumbo James, I appreciate you. Oh, my darling newly ordained prophetess, Akin Olugbade, I appreciate you. For those that are on other pages that I cannot appreciate here, I give my thanks and everything to you. This program is being sponsored by somebody. He doesn't want me to call his name. And words cannot appreciate him enough. Because my father made mention of something. He says, I go about helping other churches. I do that. When I go to churches, I don't sit down. Some of my mothers and fathers watching me would know. I don't know how to sit down, even when it's not my church. I sort of want to do something. But I never knew what he was preparing me for. I just did it because that was what I grew up with. And my father as well, last week, Apostle Shegun George said that if churches around could support the visions of some of us, then we will be in greater heights. Because when I was saying if other people wanted to, he actually addressed that point and said, why do anybody else wants to do it when there is already a vision for somebody? So why can't churches come together, get this person, speak to this person, and see how to establish it? It's all for the glory of God. It's not for anybody's profit. I'm really appreciating everyone. I need to tell you that the benches and chairs that we're doing for the kids is almost finished by just one person. They all don't want me to name their names. From the onset of this outreach, from my day one when it was dedicated till now, there are mothers and fathers that they are helping and supporting. I need to let you understand something. When I want to have a program, my mother here would say, every time I want to have a program, I'm on the phone with her with that shaky and teary eyes. And the next thing Mother Balogun would say to me, what kilo share? And I'll say, Mommy, it's just 2-3 weeks. I can't see anything. How do I want to do it? And then she will just say, go and sit back. And when she says that, I just sit back and say, okay, God, it's yours, so do it. And it would surprise me that I do not even know where the money for instruments, people that are supporting me would come from nowhere. And that event will be like, I'll be asking God, why didn't you let me know 3-4 weeks ago that you were going, you've already set your plans? But he doesn't do his own this way. This time, my father and mother here knows how many times I've called them on this project on hand, being worried. And they keep saying to me, the Lord will do it. And I'm believing, and my faith is getting stronger because I'm a person that frets. Well, they said the Lord says he's not built fear in us. And that is one thing I as a person is working on. But all I can do is plead with every one of us watching here. It's not a mandatory thing, but if every one of us watching here even gives the outreach £1 each, that's the minimum you can give. £1 in Nigeria is 500 naira. It will feed a child for a day. And imagine if a child that has not eaten for a day gets fed. The spirit that lives in them would have to bless the hand that fed them. Light of Faith and Joy is not getting the blessing. It's the blessing of everyone that has mounted a little into Light of Faith and Joy. And the first program we did, somebody challenged us. And what did that person? The person was even from the US. And I think they would have heard about a lot of outreach and foundation, that they would just go there to a school, give them something and leave. And the question was, how long do we want to work with the school. It brought me back because I wasn't thinking that far. So I had to go home and check myself as well. And that's why I'm saying that members of the Light of Faith and Joy watching from Nigeria should listen. That we are going to be working with this school for a minimum of 4 years. So that we would see one of them go out into a secondary school. We can see what happens and see how we can help them to the next stage. Light of Faith and Joy do not want to go here, die there. We want to stay on a project and be able to come back to you and say, well, you see that child that started in year 1 is now in JSS 1. And that child that just started in JSS 1 is now in University of Ibadan. That is our aim. Because that person can become somebody tomorrow. And when that person becomes somebody tomorrow and they learn in the way that they did not have, or somebody somewhere helped them to where they are, they would be able to take that back into whatever they're doing in their life to believe that they have to. One of my mothers was saying something that when she got married, she came from London and she got married and she went to rent a place in Nigeria. And looking at just her father's name, the person that owns the property said, is this your father? She was even wondering what. She took the check there that, is the check bouncing or is he a fake man or is it your father? And the man said yes. And he said, for the next, how longer you want to live in this property, you're not going to pay. And then she looked and she thought, what is this person? And then the person then told her a story of what his mother told him. That when his dad died and the mom did not have any money to do anything, our daddy came to that house and that room they were living in belonged to the dad's sister. So kani baba wa kọ́lé gbogbo wa wọ́n fún wa yàrá táwọn ènìyàn ń gbé àbúrò wọn àbẹ́gbọ́n wọn lónìí. So the dad then said to the I will pay my sister the money your mom needs to pay, and I would educate mama ile showo. And the mother kept telling her children this way, in years to come, if that name comes across, remember to help. And they never knew that name. If the person was in tears, as my mother said to me, said the person was there, and he was like, no, I won't ever believe that day could come to pass. And it's sad that their mother is not alive to see that day. So look at the generations that have passed. So I'm just pleading with us to go into our deeper hearts and see. I know times that things are not easy. We would speak to God and He would send an helper. There are times when we know that we need a certain amount of money. We don't have it, but He would send an helper. What He's saying to us now is to check our hearts as well and go out and do this. Mom, we need you to tell us more.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Once again, I would say thank you for all that our Father has contributed and to your own cause as well. We pray the Lord in His infinite mercy will continue to lead and direct the outreach.
Amen.
Gift aid. It's not just, it's a broad, it's a very, very broad thing to talk about. It's not just money.
No.
It's not just money. Your prayers is as well good. Your advice is as well good.
Yes.
Your courage is as well good. And many other things like that. Sometimes we need to cry on our neighbor's shoulder. Sometimes we need to be there to say, oh, well, I'm sorry, I can't afford to help you financially, but I can always remember you in my prayers. It's part of it. I'm going to give us another reference again from the word of the Lord, from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12 says, for wisdom is a defense, as money is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to those who have it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
This passage of the Bible is telling us how important wisdom is. At the same time, how important defense is. With wisdom, you can always be defended, and you can live inside defense. People can defend you, and you can defend others as well. Again, it's telling us about how important money is in life. We know the Bible in the book of Corinthians says, I will gladly spend to the Lord. I will gladly spend for my Lord. When the Lord said, I created us in his own image, and in his own image we were created. If, yes, we are created in his own image, and he has given us a lot of things that we did not work for. I enjoy it. Now, if he has blessed us so much to have taken us away from a land where we feel there is a certain thing or the other, and the Lord has brought us into a country where you just tap your hand and you get your milk, you get your bread. Some people eat and still throw away here. Of which in Nigeria you can't eat and throw away. Some people, they live inside one room, 1-3 times. They eat once. Some people can afford 2. Some people cannot even afford the 3. They have to be on the road. So if God will use you to bless an image of his or an image of yours, it's not just the children we have that we should bless. It's not just our family that we should bless. We should be able to dip our hands to our pocket and bless out those people out there, especially the poor. Because the Bible talks about the poor. It said we will always have the poor among us. I can be poor tomorrow. As I am, I'm poor in some certain areas. But because you can see me painting my face with whatever, you might look at it and believe, oh, she's not poor. That's your making. I am poor in some certain areas because the fingers are not equal. Yes. We're always poor in one way or the other. But it's so good for us to get up out of our own corner of areas, to decide, to think, to believe, to arise and believe, yes, I must help the needy. I must pull that person up. I don't want that person to fall because I can defend her by not allowing her to fall. Now, if we cannot reach where we are talking about, which is in Nigeria, in Ibadan, or your state, yes? Yeah. If we can't reach there, since we have an intermediary that can help us to link them, I think we're still going the same way that the Lord is asking us to go. And the Bible, if I remember, the Bible tells us, I think in the book of Deuteronomy, that from 14 years old, we should be part of those that will contribute. And this is why it's very important for us as parents to always allow our children to go to church with a certain amount of money in their pocket, so that when they grow, they will not, it will not necessarily mean you have to still sit down and nurture them before they know how to give out. Some people, they have to wait until a vision will tell them, go and give out. That is not good. It's not, when you do it without any vision, then it's helping your prayers. It's helping your life. It's helping your children. When we dip our hands into our pockets to help old women, our old ones, we are of course knocking at the door of, Lord, I want to be old. Not to talk of children. You can tell me a lot of our children, before their shoe got torn, you get another one. But these people, they will go to school without any shoe. Even when I was very, very young, a lot of children will come to school without no shoes. I remember we have some boxes then that the thinkers made, and we have to put them on their head. And some people will put it on their head so much, this place, there will be space there. There will be no more air there. to see how much they have struggled. But then you see some that their parents will drop them. So it's not just now that we started having children of poor family, but because we are here and we know that apart from God bringing us here with an opportunity, we need to stretch out. Stretching out matters a lot. So I'm pleading, as my father has just said, and I'm begging us to think deep down, what can I do to be of help? It is not until you bring 1 million pounds. It is not until you bring 200 pounds. But every little drops of water makes a mighty ocean.
Yes.
When I add my 20 plus is 20 and plus a 10, it makes 50, goes a long way.
Yes.
So please, let us arise and shine in this outreach, and let us look into what God will do for us. And let us do not believe, oh, because I've done it in the past few months, oh, I'm tired, let her go and look for another person. No. Whatever we start in our own way, or whatever we started in our own way, let us see how we will accomplish it. Olúwa ò ní jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa kú sọ́nà bí èéfín. Ìrìn àjò gbogbo wa Ọlọ́run ló mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo wa lóhùn ká gbẹ́rù dórí. Ṣùgbọ́n àfẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run bá ràn lọ́wọ́. So mo gbàdúrà kó ràn gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́. Ìlú yìí ń jọlá kíní kan, wọ́n ń jọlá pa òun ṣàánú. We have millions of people in Nigeria that we don't even need to come and sit down for this. But because they're callous and they don't look back. But if the Lord will look into you, or if the Lord will visit your heart, or if you allow the Lord to visit your heart and be part of it, I'm telling you, God is going to reimburse you. And you will be able to praise the Lord in your own way.
Amen. I'd like to appreciate my mother again and appreciate some people that have just joined in. Pastor Adebola, thank you for joining in. Tenity, thank you. Tokumbo James, it says that God will help us all. And my father in the Lord, Apostle George, says, Eku Ishe Oluwa. Thank you, sir. The Lord will continue to be with you. And I've got Prophet Ilori from Nigeria as well on here, watching us, and Prophetess Giwa. We thank every one of you. And as I said to you, little helps goes a very long way. My mother said something which I've been saying, that every one of us is less privileged in one way or the other. But what the Lord is saying is like we should put where we're lacking aside and look at where we're not lacking and use that to bless somebody else. And I would at this junction just give us details. And if you're in Nigeria, you're welcome to join us on the 26th of June at St. Paul's Primary School, Balogun, Akinyele Local Government in Ibadan, Oyo State. We're going to be there from 10 to 3 o'clock. And on the 28th of June as well, we're going to Charlie Mary Grade School in Shagamu. Charlie Mary Grade School in Shagamu is blessed in the way that one of our mothers that studied here, that was here, used a pension and everything to go back to Nigeria to build something there. What our heritage from our father was that she could have spent for her own life, to have done whatever she wanted to do with it. She didn't do it, but she heard the voice that go to that rural place and build something convenient there. But in that rural place where she's built for these children, there are families there that cannot still pay for these children. So what we're going to be doing with our children when we come back after visiting them is having people sponsor a child for a year, a term, as the Lord blesses you. And we want to focus more on the children. In the village we are going, we've got widows there. We've got old age mothers there. And that is why I want to stay with that village, that we're not just meeting the children, we're meeting their parents and the old age and widowers there. So in that village, there's a complete package for us that we do not need to be running about to look for any more places to visit. And the bank details we've got here, the Light of Faith and Joy has a bank account both here in London and in Nigeria. The Light of Faith and Joy's account here is with Metro Bank, and the account number is 26891639, and the sort code is 230580. And the account in Nigeria as well is Light of Faith and Joy International, and the bank name is FCMB. The account number is 4528359012. You can call me on 07961360585. You can inbox me on the Facebook or WhatsApp me. And let's talk. As my mother said, I need your advice. I need your wisdom. I need you to guide me through. I'm not too big to learn. There are places you might know. There might advice you might give to the outreach that might help us to be better and be able to meet other people's needs. So we're open to your advice. We're open to your comments. And as I said to you, we are coming back to feed you back with what we've done. I see one of my mothers or fathers talking about James. They've put here Matthew 25, verse 35 on the page for us. I've got my mother Adegoke as well watching. I've got my darling sister, Prophetess Adebisi as well here. I appreciate you all for joining. You know, I'm always on the phone pleading with you, so please help me. And that is why I've come publicly again to say thank you to everyone from day one of the outreach that has helped me till this time, and everyone that has donated something for us for the project we're going to do. We just have a few more weeks before we go and start putting everything in place. So it's not too late for you to support us. Please look in your hearts of hearts and then do what you can do to support us. I'll pass it back to my father to talk to us.
Thank you, ma. Yes. My mother says she needs wisdom, advice, and everything. But we cannot do without talking about money.
It's a defense.
Yes. You cannot do without talking about money.
It's a defense.
If you go back to Nigeria and say, I have wisdom, if you don't put anything on the table,
Oh God.
yeah, the next seconds, nobody will stay with you there.
It's a defense.
One thing I want us to understand is that there's no political motive behind this.
Yes.
Yes, it was. We've seen so many things like that. There's no political motive behind it. God asked her to go and do something, and that is the primary assignment for her. And the reason why we need money, you know, no matter what anybody might put, maybe £1 that you add to it will help 3 or 4 children over there.
Yes.
Remember what Paul says to Corinthians in 1 Corinthians 16, 1-4. He said, I have told the Galatians that at the beginning of the week, let them gather money and be keeping it. That anytime I come, you will bring your representative with your letter. If need be, I will go with them. They will take the money there. So if Paul advised people that way, that means the poverty is being there from beginning of the world. So, and some people are in that category. Definitely God has blessed you to bless them, to get them out of that poverty. So I'm appealing to you once again. Whatever you can give, as Paul said to Corinthians, that I've told them in Galatians that, listen, gather money together and bring it. Moreover, Malachi 3, yes, people will say it's tight. We have some people that have their tithe, but they don't know where to take it to. They don't go to church. Most of them go to church, but they are fed up. This outreach is part of what my Malachi 3 is saying. Say, bring all the food into the storehouse. Now, people are hungry over there. They need food. They don't have clothes. If you see the type of sandal, many people don't even have sandal. They go to school barefoot. Go to the school, you will see them sitting down on bare floor. How can we help them out of that? And that is one of the outreach. That is one of the evangelism. That listen, we are Christian. We are doing this to help people out. So when they grow up, they will remember that there's a Christian association that came to my village when I was young. They are the one that helped me before I can finish my first living certificate school. And that is the glory for God. Not for her, not for anyone sitting down here. Please, whatever God has laid your hand to do, just to help these children out, let us do it. Like Bible says, please, whatever you want to do, call my mother here. You have the account number, both in Nigeria and here. Whatever you can pay into that account will go a long, long, long way. Please, you're tired that you don't know what to do. Pay it into that account, and God will pay you back in million folds. Please, please, and please. Because we need to appeal to people. You've seen so many things in the past. You've heard so many things in the past. But this one is not like that. They might start this way, but we will not end up that way.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
What God said we should do is what we are going to do. If God sent her to go and look after certain children, and she was there, with the little she has started, and she needs assistance from you and me. Please, let us assist our sister here so that those people down there will come out of that poverty. Poverty and hunger. Two of them goes together. And they are different entities. If you find something to eat today and you belong to poverty side, one day you get out from the poverty. But if you don't know what to eat in the next minute, then what about tomorrow? The children are there. Then the next thing is to maybe you drop your school, let's go to farm. And they are the promising child of tomorrow, the president of tomorrow, the head of states of tomorrow. Please, let us help them. So that as God bless you, you bless them. And God will bless you more. Thank you very much.
I would like to refer back to the video for the 28th of February on the Light of Faith outreach. I would want you to go and have a look at it. There were children sleeping at the time others were eating. And I had to ask why it's not sleep time, why are they sleeping? But the answer I got back was because there wasn't anything to eat. Why the best thing was to sleep. And the ones that had food to eat was not enough to share. So we're going back there even to let those little ones know that even if it's a spoon out of what you have, you need to share with others. Because this is I thank God for giving me this opportunity. Because we had 3 schools we visited and we had to pray on it. But this school was like out of the 3. Well, I'm happy because it's the little children and it's in their hearts that we can build something good. Yeah. So we need to even teach them, because I was saying to the person that, well, if that child was properly told that even with the little you got, to buy this school, they will both be dipping their hands into eating. So we need to teach them from that little age to let them know that mommy mi bá fún mi ní biscuits wá, even if it's 3 in it, because I know that with the 3 they've given me in one pack, if I get home I'm going to eat. These children I'm seeing might not be able to eat. So that 3, share it. And when you share it, then they would learn to know that when they have something as well, they will be able to share. So it's nice that we're starting with these little kids, because it's not just about giving them books, giving them benches. We need to let them understand, regardless you being a Christian, regardless of you being a Muslim, you need to love each other. You need to be able to give. You see, I looked at their uniform. It's no joke. I looked at their uniform. The uniform is a uniform that a child could use from year 1 to year 6. And I was asking some of the members that, this uniform is too big. Was it passed down from them? But these children I'm seeing are not in year 4 or whatever, they're year 1. And the reply I got back was, Mommy, kí lẹ expect? Kò sówó aṣọ. So tó bá dọ̀tí, wọ́n á fọ̀ mọ́jú, tó bá dàárọ̀ ó ti gbẹ. So bọ́n ṣe ń dàgbà lọ, wọ́n á máa lò. So it really was not encouraging. Because I look at it, I said something about last week that when I was growing up, in our house, we must have had 6 or God knows how many maids. But the maids in my house then do not do anything. As we're going to school, they're going to salon to train or going somewhere, mechanic to, they're just going to do something. At a certain age, I and my younger sister called my mom and said, Mom, kí ló dé tẹ́ gbọ́ ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀? Because ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ òṣìṣẹ́, because we were young, we didn't understand. And my mother said something. Wọ́n ní ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ yìí lọ́la lè di doctor. Ó lè ṣàwọn ọmọ ẹ ni wọ́n kàn máa wà níbì kan tó ń sọ story. Ni ọmọ ẹ máa gbọ́ pé Adebisi said that's my great kìíní kan name. Do you know that this woman did something? So then we realized what my mom was speaking about. If my sister was being taken to school and she sat at the back while the driver was driving, if she gets caught by my mom, she would get smacked. Because my mom would say, who is driving you? You better get to the front of the car and sit beside the driver. So I look at it now and thought that little things we were being taught when we were young, we did not understand it. When my mother went down the street and found a child with no shoe, she would park her car. I would think, what can I fi gbale ṣe? Wọ́n á mú gbale yẹn, wọ́n á fi sẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ yẹn, wọ́n á ṣẹ́. By the time she's coming back from work the next day, that child has a shoe. When my mom died, I remembered very, very well that I had people weeping, even weeping more than we, the 3 children she had. And at a certain stage, I just looked back and thought, who are these people? I don't know you. And they had to say, your mom was our mom. Even my dad then, well, while he was crying, he looked back and thought, I know my wife did not have children outside. So then they said, mommy, you educate your mommy, you shake, mommy, you shake. When we looked at us, Tabati make everyone pocket money. So my dad just shook his head and said, Alabajo, yanyo kole korale kora moto ile ati mortuary. And the kids were like, some were even saying, how would they finish? And my father said, I would get you to finish. I'll finish what my wife has started. So when I was called to this job, all these things were just drawing back, saying, oh God, you should have done this earlier because you were brought up in this line. I'm just asking every one of us, even here, we get to McDonald's, we see beggars there, we get people asking, oh, can you spare 10? A lot of us, at a certain stage when I was still younger than what I am, I don't give them because my mind is, one of you musiga, one of you mugo. But the Spirit then kept saying, you don't mind what they're using it for. You just give it. I have young ones I know that when they go to McDonald's, see beggar there, rather than giving them money, they'll go into McDonald's, buy them a meal, and put it down. So we need, as my mother said, we need to teach our children. They should have the sense of giving. They should have the sense of loving each other. They could even come back home and say, Mommy, you know what? That child's shoe, that child's... You might not be able to give to that child directly. You might be able to give it to the school, and the school will find a way to give to that parent. So one of the things we're doing in the outreach is we want to start working with schools, especially during the long period of holiday, collecting food stuff, leaving it in the school, so that parents that are struggling will pick it up within the holiday time and have extra to feed their children. I'm getting a lot of people on here as well. It's just like we're appreciating you, so that it's not like we're not seeing you here. I've got Adebisi here. Thank you for being on here. I've got Tessie here. I've got my darling sister Osho here. We welcome you. I've got Alore on here. He says, well done, Ma. And they're sending their greetings to anyone here. Mom, do you have anything to tell us more? Maybe an example of a journey you've known from a friend or while growing up?
May the anointing of God ever dry in our lives.
Amen.
May the Spirit to teach us and to obey, may it descend upon us.
Amen.
I have a group in US, and they always do homeless feeding. The homeless feeding they used to do is once in a month. And in the area where they do it, I think they've got about 4 sets that will do it. But those people, you will contribute whatever you can, maybe a bag of rice. He will bring some drinks, I will bring some water. You know, a lot of them will contribute. And then on that day, they will know they have to start at 11 o'clock for the homeless to eat. Some will bring clothes. And when they eat, you know, especially when you see the black thanking you for having a nice meal.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice meal, you know. We like the vegetable. The spinach was nice. Oh, you put dodo. What is dodo? Tell us. You know, things like that keeps their life alert. It makes them to be alert. It gives them courage to let them know they are not lost. And each time they want to do it, I am always happy to be part of those that will, even if I am not there, I am happy to hear things like that is going on within Nigerians in US. And you know, US is not, they're not, those homeless will not just be Nigerians. You know, we call them Akatas and all that, but they will eat and then they will have a good time before they go. You know, things like that make me to understand that giving is not lost. It's not a program that we should touch and go. When you work in the school as a dinner lady, you can grab and go. You buy your burger and then you go with your drink. But when you have hot meal, you sit down and eat. And those that grab and go will not compare themselves with those that sit down and eat. So when homeless person or homeless feeding, when they are there and they sit down and eat hot meal, get some drink with it, get some clothing with it, you can know their life will be changed, that will be turned around at that time. So I believe these children, when they see things like that, you know, their life will be full of turnaround. And even if they don't want to face their studies, something will be telling them, oh, I can be better for tomorrow. Somebody has just, were you cut off those? Did you receive your shoes? Oh, this is mine. And you know, children, they are fond of things like that. You see, they're fond of this. So I plead and I beg once again that we should not be tired of doing good. The Bible says if we fail to do good, anybody that fails to do good is a sinner. When you know what to do and you don't do it, you don't appreciate God. Once again, we are in this world of nothing. We will one day live without anything. Now, all those things we acquire at home, it might be taken and be dropped in the second-hand clothes shop. And you can't wake up to go and get them. You won't wear more than what you are being buried with. So the little you can do while you are alive, do it and let that light shine within your family. So your children will know You know, sometimes if I do things like that, my children will say, oh God, this woman, she doesn't have, and she, oh, I don't know. This woman, I say, yes, you don't know, I know. And blessing God, it's not your business. And now they are used to it. So if I will tell them, you have to go and do this for me, you have to go and drop that. All right, mommy, all right, okay. Will that make you happy? Yes, it will make me happy. But now I see my show, they want to die by one eye. You know, they are happy to do that. So I believe, you know, when we anchor ourselves
together,
it's like we're working as a team. And they make that person to be strong. And there's a passage in the Bible we always use. My Lord will bless you according to the riches in the glory. It not just happened like that. It was because of the gift aid. If you read from verse 10, before you get to 19, you'll be able to see some things that you will emulate from there. That giving aid gift is very important. When you learn from that, then you will know if you give, curses will not follow you. It will be blessing. The heart that you give will of course want to bless you. Whether she sees you, whether he sees you or not, he will want to bless you. Oh, God bless her. God bless you. God bless you. And of course, it's going to just be like that. So it's wonderful to look into the Word of God. The Word of God said, we should live by every word that comes out from the mouth of God. So it is part of the ordinance of God that we must give, that we must be able to share. We must be able to nurture. We must be able to, you know, not just to keep our riches within ourselves or within our family. We must be able to give out. And giving out means a lot. You might even think people are not looking at you and thinking of how they can do it. It might be a lesson to others. But when we don't do it, or when we feel, oh, I can't be bothered, it's not going to lead us to anywhere. So we pray as we keep doing that, may the Lord in His mercy live in the life of these children, teach them for us. The Bible says where we and our children are, we shall be for signs and wonders. And I pray they will always be for signs and wonders. Even though most of us, we don't have our grandchildren in Nigeria, or we don't have people we could say, yes, every little, like I said, every little drops of water make a mighty ocean, and it goes a long way. So may the Lord bless us as we hear, and as we obey the Lord God Almighty, may we continue to see things to let us know we have a wonderful God who is ready to care for us all the time and always.
Before I go to my father, just to acknowledge some people that has joined. Mother, I know, thank you for joining. Mother Adebisi from Manchester, thank you, big sis. I appreciate you. Thank you. And as my mother was saying, if we were on the CNS forum, there was something Alagba Okonkwo sent. It was very touching. Because there's I think the girl is an 8-year-old girl, and the two younger ones, which have polo, they can't work, and I think their parents are dead or whatever. The girl would go, God knows how long, to bring water, to beat them. She beats them, she feeds them, and I look around when I saw it and thought, there should be an adult or somebody there that could have thought, okay, let me add these children to my children and look after them. Because I knew one of our mothers replied back on the page and said, what country? So you would see that it touched her heart. That where is this happening? I'm not sure if it's on the group page or maybe Facebook. There's a little boy as well. I think he's about 4 or 5. And he says to his parents, don't buy me toys. Don't buy me any good thing. And they said, what do you want to use your money for? I buy burger to feed it. And I can't remember his name, but when they ask for his name, he puts president in front of his name. And what he says when he gives them that in his name, show some love. Show some love. That is telling them as well, because when you're working with that, there could be somebody that is not. So you could share what.
How?
And the father said when he named himself president, something he didn't understand what he was talking about, but maybe what he's trying to say in his little ways, that is what a president should be doing. So a president should be looking more to those that need. I remember the program we did in Nigeria in May when we had people coming to the church. And believe it or not, Mom and Dad, we must have packed almost 100 bags. But 100 bags was not.
No, it's
Nothing.
And what I did on that day was, like I said to the members, that I said, you know what, I brought the raffle thing we did.
Yeah.
I said, we need to go round. And yes, we're giving it to them, but they should put something down. And they were looking at me like, Mom, but whatever they put down is not going to be what is. I said, it doesn't matter. It makes them realize that they still need to give. And when we looked, the church was just packing. And I thought, oh God, maybe we shouldn't have even called. So we had to get up, and I said to them that you have a bag. In that bag, honestly, before God, it had at least 7 items and reasonable packed items. So I said to them, I said, there's somebody that did not get a raffle, that the number was not called. But as you're going out and you see somebody without a bag, pick one of that item, give it to that person, and that person will pray for it. And believe it or not, a lot of people did it. Because we had big bags of rice, we had beans, we had gari in it. So there was something you could give, and don't feel that you're missing out on it. So as my mother said, we really need to do this, and Light of Faith and Joy cannot do it alone. So please support us. My father is going to...
Yeah, concerning the give aids that my mother talk about, like Paul the Apostle, when he was sending Timothy to his people, that's 1 Timothy chapter 6. He said, tell them to be doing good, and they will be rich in good works, ready to give, willing to share. That, listen, my son Timothy, I'm sending you to the people now. This is what you should teach them. If you are not there tomorrow, they know what to do. And then storing up for themselves a good foundation for the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life. And that's why I'm appealing. Giving aids is not throwing your money away. You are saving a life that is about
the kingdom
to go. But some people, maybe in the next 5 minutes, if they don't see food or water, then they go. But if you send your money and that water or food get to them on time, then you keep them alive. That is what Paul the Apostle was telling Timothy. Then the blessing in the book of Proverbs 3 from verse 9 says, honor the Lord with your possessions and with the first fruit of all your increase. That goes back to Malachi 3 that I referred to earlier on. So your barns will be full with plenty. And I pray, as you are having it in your mind that you will support this foundation, I pray that your barns will be full with plenty.
Amen.
And your vase will overflow with new wine.
Amen.
Please, my fathers and mothers, viewers at home, we are here just to appeal to you that God has blessed you bountifully. Just take little out of that bless and bless others. We are opportune to be here. We can eat 3 times in a day, if not 4 times in a day. But let us look back.
we know that
Let us look back at those people that cannot even afford to eat once. Half a meal, none of them can even think of it. Let us help and assist them, please.
constantly.
So that tomorrow when they become president, they refer back to what you have done to them today and said, only God knows those who paid for my school fees. That God will bless them. Even though we are no more then, which I know that all of us will still live longer than this. Our children and children will get that blessing. And they too, they will be doing good. Please, my fathers and mothers, let us help these less privileged. They don't have anything. And they are expecting people to help them. You know, in our country, Nigeria today, if you don't vote for them, they are not going to do anything for you. The big school, classroom is there, mighty one. No chairs, no table.
Cows are living in.
Nothing is there. And when they ask them during the next campaign, they go back there and say, oh, we are going to finish it. But this one, we are going there to help them out. Those who don't have chairs, then the foundation will provide chairs for them. Those who don't have cloth, textbooks. If you don't have textbooks, how will you pass your exam? So there's a lot to do there. And that's why I said earlier on that those who are watching me from Ibadan, if you go to Adeogun village, Akiyele local government, you will see what is going on at St. Paul Primary School. Then you will understand what we are talking about. If from here, UK, people are going there to assist them, please, with the account number that you have on your screen, please, whatever you want to give, pay it into that account. Use your name as reference. So that the people of God here will be praying for you as well. As you are giving, God will continue to bless you. And I pray God will bless you as you bless others. Thank you.
Before we go on a short break, before we round up, I'd just like to recognize the people that are coming on, which is House of Comfort. We welcome you. Ayaba Esther, thank you for joining in. Alatunshi, my father in the Lord, thank you. Sister Tola, thank you for joining. We'll be going on a short break now, and then when we're back, we will be able to summarize everything we've done, give you the account details. Give you the account details, and I've been told I can't go on a break. I'm seeing my darling cousin as well from Ibadan there as well. Yemi Adekayege, thanks for joining us. The Lord will continue to be with you. I would like to read the account details again. Elizabeth Coker from Nigeria, thank you, ma. I appreciate you joining us. The Lord will continue to be with you. This is an open invitation for every one of us. I believe, Alagba, Mr. Noble, can we go on a short break, please? If we can. Can we go on a short break, please?
Homeless people with need, widowers, orphan care, children and youth awareness events, medical, disaster relief and development. Iṣẹ́ gbogbo wa ni ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ sowọ́pọ̀ ká jọ gbé e lárugẹ ká nawọ́ ìrànwọ́ sí àwọn aláìní, kíkọ́ ilé ìwé ìgbàlódé fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ àwọn abarapá àti àwọn aláìní àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Host and ambassador is Prophetess Adebisi for financial sponsors and support. Account details in London. Account name Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International. Bank name Metro Bank. Account number 26891639. Sort code 230580. Nigeria account name Light of Faith and Joy International. Bank name FCMB. Account number 4528359012. Contact details +44 7961 360585 +234 7036 706218 +234 8023 441746 +234 8052 1416. Website lfjoutreachinternational.com. Email light.of.faith.n.joy.outreach@gmail.com. Facebook, Light of Faith and Joy Outreach. Note this, that the second visit will be at Shagam on 28th of June 2018. Let's come together to do it. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International presents 2018 outreach event in Nigeria. Date Tuesday 26th June 2018. Time 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at St. Paul Primary School, Adiogun, Akinyele Local Government, Ibadan, Oyo State. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International is celebrating journey so far and a year celebrating of LFJ in Nigeria. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International is an outreach bring dignity, awareness, honest to meet the physical need of people through humanitarian support networks, homeless people with need, widowers, orphan care, children and youth awareness events, medical, disaster relief and development. Iṣẹ́ gbogbo wa ni ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ sowọ́pọ̀ ká jọ gbé e lárugẹ ká nawọ́ ìrànwọ́ sí àwọn aláìní, kíkọ́ ilé ìwé ìgbàlódé fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ àwọn abarapá àti àwọn aláìní àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Host and ambassador is Prophetess Adebisi for financial sponsors and support. Account details in London. Account name Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International. Bank name Metro Bank. Account number 26891639. Sort code 230580. Nigeria account name Light of Faith and Joy International. Bank name FCMB. Account number 4528359012. Contact details +447961360585 +2347036706218 +2348023441746 +23480521416. Website lfjoutreachinternational.com. Email light.of.faith.n.joy.
We thank you for being with us. I looked at the time. You've been with us for over an hour now, and we appreciate you. As my father said earlier and my mother said, it's all about giving and the blessing in giving. I've seen my darling sister as well, Mother Awusode, coming on. Thank you. I know you're just coming in from work. The Lord will continue to be with you and guide you. For everybody that has tuned in, for people that are going to watch later, I say thank you. I'm going to get my mother and my father to talk, and then after that we would round up and they would pray. I want them, when they individually pray, to pray for everyone that have started the journey with me. You see, when you have a vision and you don't have people that the Lord meets their heart to walk with you on the vision, but when the Lord goes into people's hearts and show them that that vision is from me, help her to get to where I want her to get to, then you feel encouraged. Because as my mother said, the love, and a lot of people have done things for me. A lot of guest artists have come in to sing, and they've taken nothing from us because they know we're charity. They've used their voices to praise the Lord. They've done a lot of things. People have left their homes to be with us. And all I can say is appreciate every one of you. I know you don't want me to call names, but God sees your hearts. God knows your name. Even if I call names, I will not be able to call everybody's name. I'll leave some names out. But God knows each and every one of you. And I know that what your heart desires are, what is in your heart that you want God to do, that you've not told any man, the Lord would meet those needs. Mm-hmm. The account detail is there, and as if I've not earlier said, Light of Faith and Joy has registered as a company limited by guarantee, working under non-profitable as a charity. We're not fully a full charity, but with your blessings and all that, we will get there. So our company record is there. Every money that is being taken is going to be accounted for. Everything we do with your money, we're going to come back. Even if we don't have a program like this, we'll get Noble to just keep putting it on so that everybody would. We are thinking and open for an event in August so that we can showcase everything we've come back with in Nigeria. Please, please, please try to support us. Every little helps would make the outreach to be able to meet their needs. When the head teacher of the school phoned one of the members to say, then he's a pastor, so he answered spiritually. Say, àdúrà tẹ́ ń gbà náà ló ń jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn fún wa láwọn nǹkan kan tá a ṣe é ṣe. Àdúrà yẹn jẹ́ kó tún pọ̀ sí o, so that gbogbo nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe à lè ṣe. Then I said to him, I said, maybe the head teacher has been there for a long time, there's not been an impact. And the head teacher would want to be able to put in his record that while he was there, some people looked kindly to the school. We went there and we asked for an head teacher's chair, man. There wasn't an head teacher's chair. If you look at them, you will not even believe what a teacher's chair looks like. And I'm thinking, that's not a good environment for a child to. So the work we're doing there is going to be great. What we're taking and what we're doing here is just a tip on the iceberg. And that's why I keep referring people to go and see that video. Even look at what the classroom is. We need to make the classroom an environment for the children to be happy to want to study. To give them something, when you see the brightness in the class, you will not feel dull. But when you come into the class and the class is dull, your spirit will not even want to do anything. You will see some kids on the mat waiting for those ones to get off the chair for them to then start their class. And as I said, local governments, governors, it's another story entirely. That's not my call. Because I remember the head teacher asked the people that visited, when they went and said, I feel our school, we want to come and learn. The first question the head teacher said is, hope no politician sent you. And the pastor that went said, politician. And the boy, and he answered them and said, we're not politicians, we're God sent. And your prayer is the only one that can help us to achieve what we want to do for you. I'm not bringing that local government down or the village down. These kids do not have a toilet to use. That is how bad it is. So we really need to do something. And when I've not seen the children, but looking at them through the video, I know they are bright children. There's futures for them. And my heart goes to them, and my heart goes to their parents. And that is why I want us to help. So I'm really pleading with you. I'll get my mom to round up on everything she said before we then round up on our prayers. And my father as well. I actually brought the people that they are intellect with the spirit, the words of God. They are very good in it, so that they can tell us what it is. Because it is nice for us to go to churches and say, give, give, give. If we give and we do not see the impact of what we're giving. And my father made a point, which I felt we were going to make it like a secret thing, but he said it out. Names of everyone that has donated, names. If you don't put your names or reference in the money, you said, we're going to print out the account statement, and they're going to pray for everyone that has dipped in. And there's going to be a group of people that will just keep praying as you support us, and that every of your heart desires will be met. So I'll pass it on to my mother.
Once again, we thank you from the beginning to this end where we are. And we thank God who has been here with us to have bestowed his mercy and favor upon us, so that we're here to do the little we can for today. I'm going to sing a song, and then end up with a passage in the Bible, and it goes, you are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. You got time and seasons in your hands. You call for light out of darkness. You don't need no man to be the God you are. But in your mercy, you called us your own. You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. Amen.
Amen.
And I'm going to end up with the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 10 and 18. When you have eaten and are full, then you shall bless the Lord your God for the good land which he has given you. And 18 says, and you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers as it is this day. May the covenant of God concerning blessing for us.
Amen.
May he remain with us.
Amen.
May he abide with us.
Amen.
And as we keep going under the canopy of Almighty, may we continue to enjoy his favor and kindness as we do to others in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Thank you, my mother.
Yes, sir.
You are the Lord from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. Acts of Apostles chapter 2 verse 44 said, now all who believe were together, which I want all of us to be together and work together and have all things in common. When our faith, our heart works together like those of the days, of the old days, then we should be able to move mountain from these young people. The big mountain before them, we should be able to remove it. And it goes and said, some people even went to sell their possessions and goods because they want others to be fine. They want the hungry people to be fed. They want to eradicate poverty. And he said, and divided them among all as anyone had needed. These children, they need our help. They need our assistance. I don't say you should go and sell your things. But please, whatever that God has blessed you with, let us bless these children so that tomorrow they make life. Tomorrow they will stand before the king. Tomorrow they will stand before the president and said, this is what we need to do. But if that has taken away from them and there are no more tomorrow, then the wisdom that God has given them, they die with it. Please, whatever God has laid into your heart today to assist them, let us assist them. Let us do something for them. Let us bring them out of that poverty so that the father and the mother, their parents, will be happy and said, yes, God, we thank you because you've sent somebody to take away our body. And I pray today, as you are reaping in tears, you are sowing in tears, you will reap in joy in Jesus' name.
Amen.
And the coordinator that God has gave this job to, it's not easy. The load is heavy. It's only God that can make it light. And I pray that as you are going, you will not fall by wayside.
Amen.
God will continue to empower you.
Amen.
Your anointing will never run dry.
Amen.
You are doing it today as fun. Now let me just do it. Before you know the impact of it, that will be the time when somebody will mention your name and say, Prophetess also came when I was young. to assist us in our school. Then you will now know that, oh, the current president, God help him through me. Yes, you are doing it today as if, God, what am I going to get tomorrow? But all the reward that is due to you, God will give it to you. And the viewers at home, I know you have it behind of your mind now that immediately we finish this, you started calling her. You transfer certain amount into the account. Yes, we ask for £1. I know you will transfer more than £1. But as you do it, God will bless you more and more.
Amen.
You are privileged today to have that. Let us spread it down to those less privileged, so that when they look back tomorrow, they will remember the day they were hungry, and you are part of those people that take the hunger away from their life. And I pray that as you are taking the hunger away from their life, you will never go poor in your life. The oil of anointing of God will continue to bless you. Thank you very much as you are listening. I know you are not tired and you will not be tired. You will not be weary as well. My mother, thank you very much, ma. It's only her that can take you out from your... And you answer the call of God, not her. By the grace of God, anywhere your children are, they will receive mercy of God. And whatever they look upon, whatever they are asking from God, by the power of heaven today, they will receive it. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, viewers, and thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Noble people, thank you very much. You have done a lot. Nobody has done this and go free. God always pay them and give them the reward. The reward that is due to your company, God will give it to you. Thank you very much.
The person that sponsored
the sponsor as well, God knows you and God sees your heart. You proclaim the evangelism and God will proclaim your job as well. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
As we're rounding up, we've got my mother Onofuse here. Thank you, ma'am, for joining in. And people are praying as well and saying amen to all our prayers. As I said earlier, the invitation is open. The more we come and see what we are doing, the more you'll be able to encourage other people to support us. I'd go again Tuesday, the 26th of June, and the 28th of June. We've put it in the presence of the Lord, and I know He will take total control.
Amen.
If you go on our Facebook, the details is, inbox me. The account details is on as well, or you can inbox us as well, and then we will be able to give you what the details is. As I keep saying, every little help goes a long way. I need to appreciate the sponsor of this program again. The Lord will bless you. I would like to appreciate Noble TV International. The Lord will continue to bless you. I'm too young to pray for my mother and my father, but I ask and I pray for a mightier divine anointing that makes them different from others. A divine anointing that will fill their hearts. A divine anointing that would meet their needs. As my mother said earlier, everybody paints their face, we all look well, but there are heart desires. I do not know what my father and my mother's heart desires are, but because they left time, and for my father that came last week, and my father that came previously, they all have heart desires. Tuesday is a busy day. They could be doing Bible studies, Bible whatever. But they've not looked at me as this little stubborn girl. They've looked at the Lord and the divine Lord that is in me, and they've answered the call of God. I pray that everything your heart desires will be blessed. Amen. We'll be here next week with my brother from another mother, Pastor Sam Ajagbe, from my sister as well, Prophetess Divine. We're going to have a recording from my darling sister from another mother in Dublin. She'll be sending a recording to us, so we're going to see her face. I don't know how many of us are going to be here next week, but be with us here. And please, 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 I asked for £1. My father said we can do better. If every one of us that are tuning in and going to be watching, just transfer £1, it will go a long way, and we would appreciate it. The Lord will bless you all. Amen. And the rest of the week will be a blessed one for us. Thank you for watching us. God bless.
outreach@gmail.com. Facebook, Light of Faith and Joy Outreach. Note this, that the second visit will be at Shagam on 28th of June 2018. Let's come together to do it. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International presents 2018 Outreach Event in Nigeria. Date Tuesday 26th June 2018. Time 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at St. Paul Primary School, Adiogun, Akinyele Local Government, Ibadan, Oyo State. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International is celebrating journey so far and a year celebrating of LFJ in Nigeria. Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International is an outreach bring dignity, awareness, honest to meet the physical need of people through humanitarian support networks, homeless people with need, widowers, orphan care, children and youth awareness events, medical, disaster relief and development. Iṣẹ́ gbogbo wa ni ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ sowọ́pọ̀ ká jọ gbé e lárugẹ ká nawọ́ ìrànwọ́ sí àwọn aláìní, kíkọ́ ilé ìwé ìgbàlódé fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ àwọn abarapá àti àwọn aláìní àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Host and ambassador is Prophetess Adebisi for financial sponsors and support. Account details in London. Account name Light of Faith and Joy Outreach International. Bank name Metro Bank. Account number 26891639. Sort code 230580. Nigeria. Account name Light of Faith and Joy International. Bank name FCMB. Account number 4528359012. Contact details +44 7961 360585 +234 7036 706218 +234 802344 1746 +234 8052 1416. Website LFJ Outreach International.